All right, picking up where we left off on the last video on part one. This is part two. We created our schematic, and now we are going to push this into our PCB layout. So to do that, I'm going to go over to this icon over here and click Switch to PCB Document. It's going to do some thinking, and then it opens it up. Now this would be our PCB board. This is never accurate. So the first thing I do is just click on the delete icon and go around and delete all of these. All right, and you can see that this is the center, and so I'm going to just drag this to the center. My parts are all jumbled up. I'm going to have to arrange them again, but I can see that my grid settings are not showing. My grid's not showing, so I want to make sure it's showing. Unfortunately, this is in mils. That's okay, but I want to change it to inches. And remember, 0.1 inches is the correct dimension to use. I'm going to click on, and I can see that now everything is going to click to that 0.1 inches. All right, so I'm just going to start dragging stuff around, separating it out. I can click here. Sorry, I got to click on the move icon. Done. Come on. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of do the same thing as before. Start dragging this out. I want this to be over here. And here, these yellow lines denote the connections that are going to be made. So with these, I want to start doing some rotating. So I'm going to click on the rotation icon, and you can just click, 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 click. I think that's the wrong orientation. Click and see how that works. All right, that looks pretty good for now. I'm going to redo this, get it more lined up how I want it to be. Remember, we're going to be soldering, so you want this to be a nice, close, tight fit, but not too tight. You want to definitely make sure you leave room. So I'm going to say done, and I'm going to be happy with this for now. Is this lined up? I want this to be actually lined up a little bit better. Move this up just one. I can't do it because of how they're oriented a different way. Maybe I can go like this. I'm going to flip this around. And really, it's not important. It's just for aesthetics. All right, no problem. I'll just leave it like that. All right, so that looks pretty good. We can cut out our board now. So go to the outline polyline, and I want to just make a rectangle around this. I want to leave a little bit of space so I have room to solder. And then when you're done, hit escape. All right, looks good. Now we are going to do our quick route. So we're going to go auto router. Some PCBs you can make a top and a bottom. We do not have that ability, so I'm always going to say NA for top, and we're just going to cut out the bottom. I'm going to say continue, and it's going to try five different pathways. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. This is really simple, so they're all going to be just fine. It's just whatever one you want is the best. You can choose that one. So let's say we just want this first one. All right. So I'm going to say in job, and this looks great. So these are going to be our actual connections. The blue line, that's going to be our traces. That's what's going to be cut out on our our mill. All right, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. And now I want to go over here to Design Manager. Unfortunately, these traces, the default is too small. So I want to change this so it's a fatter trace. So it leaves more copper. It leaves a thicker copper pathway for the current, for the electricity pass through. So I'm going to change to signals. And my signals here are these four. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if that's the right order, but that's what they are. So I want to select all these. You can click the top one, hit shift and click the bottom one, and it'll select all of them. And you can see that they're all selected in white. Now I'm going to go over here to my inspector. And sometimes this is in mils, sometimes it's in inches. If it's in inches, let's select, let's select 0.024 inches. If it is in mils, select 24 mils. A mil is a 1,000th of an inch. All right, so I'm gonna say, I don't need to select anything, but I can see that it's the bottom layer. If this was red, that would be bad, and I'll talk about that later, not in this video. Hit escape, and so I can see that those lines are much thicker. All right, so this is it for my PCB document. I'm gonna save this again, and now just one more part, and we're almost done. I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna push this to my 3D PCB. So this PCB layout is what I would use to send to the mill. I would create a file from here to send to the mill to actually cut it out. But if I want to use my design, my circuit design in another design, I'm going to use my PCB, 3D PCB. So I'm going to select there. Some of the components are not going to have a model, and it'll have a warning right here. That's okay. I'm going to say push, and it's going to spin for just a second. And I get my PCB right there. So I can like flip around. I could see those pathways. This looks great. All right. So our goal is to be able to solder this and make this light up. So you can see, let me just talk about this real quick, and then I'll end the video. This is not what our buttons look like. That was what the warning was for. It doesn't have a model of that push button that we have. So it just uses like this rectangle to represent that. All right. And that's going to be it. All right. So you should practice this, get fluent at this, be able to do this really quickly with all the steps. Oh, one last thing, make sure you save. All right, thanks for watching.